This is the split stitch. The split stitch is another great either straight stitch or outline stitch. You can do curves. You can go in, in a circle. The other thing it's used for quite often, there's another stitch that in our library called the satin stitch. And a lot of times people will pad a satin stitch. So underneath the beautiful satin part of it will be stitching that adds some padding. And the split stitch is really common to use for that because it lays flatter than a lot of the other stitches. So here's how you do the split stitch. You're going to come up at A and go down at B, a stitch length ahead. Now because it's called the split stitch, you're going to come up at C and split the threads of floss. Now I have three flosses in this thread that I'm stitching with right now. So it'll be 2 on one side and 1 on the other. It doesn't really matter which direction you split it, but you just come up into the middle. And what that does is it spreads the stitch out a little bit, so has a little bit of a wider appearance than other stitches. Okay, it's coming right up into the middle here. But it also causes it to lay a little flatter. So you go down, so you came up in the middle, you go down the stitch length ahead. Stitch length. Come up and split the flosses. And then go down, stitch length ahead. And you just keep going along like this. It has a pretty look to it. I don't know exactly what, it's a little bit like the chain stitch, I guess, in the sense, not at all the way it's made, but in a tiny bit in its appearance because you're putting flosses on either side, because you're splitting them. So it has a bit of a little puffy, because it's more puffy than like a chain stitch. It has a little bit of a puffy or fluffy quality to it. And it's fun to make. Just do a couple more here for you, and then I'll show you how to end it. Just do one more. So you could just end it right there, just go down and end it. But I kind of like to do it this way. So this is going to be my tail end here. I'm going to come up and split. And then instead of doing a full stitch length, I'm just going to go a tiny bit beyond this spot right here. Just a little bit. And pull it down. To me, it just has a bit of a more finished appearance, but you can do it, finish it off any way you want. So that is the split stitch.